Anyway, so question number 3, business users are giving unclear requirement. What would you do? So this is interesting question, right? So now, first, you schedule a requirement workshop with the stakeholder and you'd ask question focus on current process, pain point, expected outcome, compliance need, reporting requirement and approval workflow. And then you would create a process flow diagram, document business rules, prepare examples or mock workflow, confirm requirements, throw playback session. So finally, you should convert the finalized requirement into user stories with acceptance criteria. And the goal is to remove ambiguity before the deployment development start. Otherwise, developer will be confused about the requirement and then again back and forth will happen, right? Anyway, so for question number 4, anyway. Hello everyone, you are watching on TikTok, Grow Together, Success Together. So welcome back everyone. Today I coming up with another video. Last video you already saw that I shared a couple of Veeva Vault BA related interview questions. So today I'll give you a little bit advanced scenario based question and answer. So in this set I have 10 question and answer, but I'll share that in series basis. So today is part 1. So I plan for you that I'll share the 30 question and answer scenario based for BA people who are looking for the business analyst job. So this is for your day, I would say. So you'll get the good knowledge about the pattern of the questions and also the answers. Anyway, so with that note, let's get started. All right, so let's practice. So as I'm saying that let's practice, so that means that I have jot down the question and scenario based answer. So please be focused on that. At least I'll take 5 minutes from you. Please stay focused during the session. Thank you. All right. So with that note, today we are interview mostly focusing on the some of the key topic, which is write user stories and manage backlog in Jira. So that is BA's responsibility basically. All right. So today the first question is tell me about yourself. So in this is very common questions or sort of all the interview, right? So what you will tell that with over X number of years. So please mention that how many years of experience you have in this field as a business analyst and IT consultant in pharma, biotech, and healthcare. You recently supported Veeva Vault TMS implementation for XYZ client. In your prior experience, you should describe. And then you mentioned that your skill include requirement gathering, process mapping, user story creation, agile delivery, UAT coordination, and stakeholder management. And you collaborate with the QA, IT team, vendor, and business users to align business need with system solution, ensuring compliance with GXP and 21 CFR Part 11. And you have hands-on experience definitely with Jira, Confluence, SQL, Veeva Vault, and Agile. If you don't have such thing, then definitely I suggest then please experience with this tool and term, and then I think you can apply for the BA role. Otherwise, this is not relevant for you. Anyway, so question number 2, right? Explain your real world experience. So you can talk about your QMS or RIMS experience. For this example, I just talk about the QMS and quality docs. So for this XYZ client, you have uh, supported deviation, CAPA, change control audit, QRM, let's say SCAR, supply quality management, quality docs. And your responsibilities included that you supported the requirement gathering, process workshop, gap analysis, user story writing, UAT coordination, validation support, defect management, and stakeholder communication and traceability documentation. So you also work closely with the QA and business team to optimize the workflow and improve cycle time. So these are the part you have to work on and your experiences. Anyway, so question number 3, business users are giving unclear requirement. What would you do? So this is interesting question, right? So now, first, you schedule a requirement workshop with the stakeholder and you'd ask question focus on current process, pain point, expected outcome, compliance need, reporting requirement, and approval workflow. And then you would create a process flow diagram, document business rules, prepare examples or mock workflow, confirm requirement, throw playback session. So finally, you should convert the finalized requirement into user stories with acceptance criteria. And the goal is to remove ambiguity before the development start. Otherwise, developer will be confused about the requirement and then again back and forth will happen, right? Anyway, so for question number 4, how do you write a good user story? So typically this question everyone know, but for awareness, I'm telling that basically there could be a format. It's based on client to client, but typically this follow this format as a user role. You have to mention the role and you want, I want functionality so that business rule after this, you can include that acceptance criteria, business rule, dependency, validation requirement, error handling scenarios, and reporting expectations. So one of the example is as a QA user, you want deviation record to be routed automatically for approval so that review process is both standardized and compliant. Acceptance criteria, the workflow should be triggered upon record creation, an email notification must be sent, and audit trail should be logged. All status changes, only authorized users are allowed to approve the record. So these are the basic example I just pointed out. Now, question number 5, developers say the requirement keep changing during sprint execution, and there is very pain point for the developer. First, you evaluate whether the change is critical for compliance, a business priority, a future enhancement. You have to evaluate that. And then you should discuss with the product owner and the scrum master if the change impact sprint scope significantly. And then what you'll do, reprioritize backlog item, move non-critical item for the future sprint, and update acceptance criteria, communicate impact clearly to the stakeholder. And the key is balancing flexibility with sprint stability. Now, question number 6, explain backlog grooming or backlog refinement. So backlog refinement is the process of reviewing upcoming work item before the sprint planning. During refinement, you should clarify the requirement with the stakeholder, split large stories, add acceptance criteria, identify dependency, discuss technical impact, also estimate the effort with the team, confirm readiness for sprint planning. This helps reduce confusion during development and improve the sprint predictability. Now, question number 7. QA team found multiple defect during UAT. What would you do? So let's say testing team found multiple defect during UAT. What would you do? First, you would classify the defect based on severity and business impact. Then you would review the requirement and acceptance criteria, reproduce the issue with the developer, discuss with the developer, and also verify the whether it's a system defect or requirement gap, prioritize fixes with the stakeholder, track defect in Jira, and coordinate retesting. For critical defect affecting compliance or data integrity, and you should escalate immediately. Now, question number 8. What is your experience on Agile? So most of you already have the experience on the Agile, but still, I'm telling some key point, that is you have worked on in Agile and safe environment. And your responsibility included sprint planning, daily stand-up, user story creation, backlog management, sprint review, retrospective call, UAT coordination, and defect tracking. You worked closely with the product owner, developer, QA team, architect, and scrum master, and business stakeholder. And definitely you are not alone doing that. Every team's help is needed. Now, question number 9. A stakeholder disagree with the proposed solution. How would you handle it? This is very important question. So you'd first understand their concern fully. Usually disagreement happen because of process impact, compliance concern, user experience, timeline pressure, reporting needs. And you would organize a discussion with all impacted team and reviews, business objective, technical limitation, compliance requirement, and alternative solution. And then you document decision and obtain alignment before moving forward. Now, the last question for this set. Explain the current state and future state process mapping. So current state mapping document how the process works today. It helps identify the manual activities, delay, duplicate work, compliance gap, and system limitation. So future state mapping define the improved process after implementation. Let's say your experience, you can mention that XYZ company, you conducted a workshop to map current and future state workflow for Viva QMS module. And this helped optimize approval workflow, reduce duplicate work, and improve role clarity. So that's all for today, and definitely stay tuned for the upcoming 2 sessions, which cover the 20 Viva BA questions and as BA question and answer, which is not covered today. Definitely, this is important for someone, as I told, who are looking for the business analyst job in the Viva site, Viva domain. And yeah, stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening this important discussion for today. Yeah, definitely. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye.